Are you here to kill me? Are you here to do the Scream 7 movie review? Okay, yeah, let's do that.
All right, and welcome to After the Scream podcast. My name's Chris, the independent filmmaker.
I'm Jess, the non-independent filmmaker.
That's right, and we're back with another movie review.
Yay!
Yay. What do we have today?
We have Scream 7. Yay!
7.
No, what are you doing? Don't.
Scream 7.
Just don't.
That's right. All right, so we have that review. We just saw that movie
Last night.
So, yeah.
I spilled my popcorn. It was so good.
It's right. You smelled your popcorn all over the floor. Before the movie started.
Before the movie started, too. Yeah,
Absolutely.
That was great.
Mm-hmm. All right. So if you haven't been here before, we do horror movie reviews and interviews with creatives in the horror genre space. So if you enjoy that, I encourage you to like and subscribe below and comment below.
We love our comments.
We do. We respond to all your comments as well. All right. So let's get into this. Let's talk about this for a little bit. This is the 7th installment in Scream 7.
Right?
Right?
Years.
It's been years. And speaking of years, Sydney Prescott's back, right?
Yes.
Or Sydney Evans. Sydney Prescott Evans.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's living in this small town, and undisclosed small town, with her husband and one of her children, Tatum, right?
Yeah.
Tatum, yes. And she's kind of hiding out. She just kind of trying to live the quiet life away from all the craziness that happened to her back in the 90s. What happens?
Well, Ghostface basically shows up.
Yes, Ghostface shows up in her town, crazy enough. And she has a little thing going on with her daughter. They don't really get along. Obviously, your daughter is a teenage daughter, so there's teenage kind of years. But also, Sydney hasn't really kind of told her what's going on in her past, and her daughter really wants to know that kind of thing. So they have a lot of tension going on. So when Ghostface shows up, they're kind of at odds, and they have to kind of come together to
face it all over again.
Face them all over again. That's kind of it. It's pretty easy plot kind of thing. Ghostface shows up in the town where Sydney's living, and they have to run for their lives and save themselves.
Yep.
And everybody else. So a little bit before we get into this, and I'm sure you all know, especially if you're very big Scream fans and you've been hearing about this for a long time, there's been I know movies have, there's been movies controversy and everything, but this movie has been plagued with controversy for years. And now this is finally out, but it's gone from multiple directors attached to this that departed the production, and they brought on Kevin Williamson. And if you know Kevin Williamson, especially if you're a big Scream fan, he's the original writer, and he wrote 2 and 4, I believe, as well. But he did not direct any of those. That was Wes Craven that was directing those early ones, and this is his directorial debut for Scream. So it was kind of exciting. I'm like, okay, that's cool. He's the writer. Maybe he can do the directing and everything like that. He knows the franchise. He knows the franchise pretty good since he created it. So he should know it pretty good. There was other writers on this project as well. Plus, they brought him on to do the rewrites, $500,000 rewrite or something like that.
All because of something that was said.
Yeah. So that was the other controversy because, obviously, if you're Scream fans, you've been watching 5 and 6 had somebody else in it. It had Melissa Barrera in it, and
Jenna Ortega was in 6. Oh no, was she in 5 too?
Yeah, they were both in 5 and 6. Yeah, absolutely.
It's been a minute.
But Melissa had some comments about the Middle East and that
conflict that was going on.
And the production company didn't like that, and they fired her, unfortunately, for that. We were hoping that she would continue on with this trilogy through 5, 6, and 7, along with Jenna Ortega. Even last night in the opening of it, they've been protests and boycotts, saying don't go see this movie. A lot going on just to get to this point of this movie. And some of it shows the controversy. This movie took a hit, and you see that in the final product as well. Another reason besides Kevin Williamson, writing some of this and directing this, which was really exciting. Yeah, this brought back Neve Campbell as Sydney Prescott. Courtney Cox is back, but she's been in 5 and 6 as well. It brought back a couple of the characters from 5 and 6, Mesa Gooding and Jasmine Savoy Brown. And then even McKenna Grace, they didn't use her much in this film, which was unfortunate. She's very talented and she's in a lot of horror films and things like that.
Yeah.
But I was happy to see that she was in this as well. We want to go through some things that we found in this, and
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
that's right. So what do you
What did I like about it?
yeah, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, well, I know this bothered you, but I really enjoyed the opening scene because I thought it was the perfect way to introduce the movie, was just kind of take you back to a little bit where it all began. And I think that it was a nice refresher. And I had kind of forgotten where some of the first, well, not the first kills, but I guess the first kills in some of the movie had really happened.
The last kills, yeah.
The last kills. Yeah, the last kills.
Yeah.
So I really enjoyed that. But I know you didn't like it.
I know, and I'm going against the grain here on everybody because I think I'm in a small box all by myself, but because I don't know, I didn't like the characters weren't likable, and I guess they don't have to be likable because you already know they're not going to live very long because it's the opening scene and the killer's going to get them. And I get it was so, to me, nostalgic laden right from the start, and I was like, that kind of was like just washed over me, and I didn't like that because. And it was very, coming from a writer standpoint, it was very exposition driven to me because it was like, he was explaining it to his girlfriend. I'm like, oh, why do we have to do this? Haven't you seen the first, you were all Scream fans, so haven't you seen it? So we don't need to explain, well, this is where this did, then this is where Stu died, and this is where Sid, that kind of thing. I was just like, I don't need to relive Scream 1. I just want to move on to Scream 7 and how that's going to reflect in it. So I know a lot of people loved it and it was super cool, but it just seemed very predictable.
It was a really cool Airbnb now in the film.
Yeah, it was. It was
like a horror Airbnb.
But you've all seen the trailer, so it's all burned down. So.
Yeah. That's what I loved. It was just like, let's just burn it to the ground. It's in the past now. Let's move on to Scream 7.
But I was appreciative that this film had a little more tension. It did build the tension. There was some good scenes where you could see Ghostface and maybe see him in the shot. Like they built up the tension.
Yeah, like it faded
without that. And I felt like it was more of a psychological stalker than just it was when they were doing it in New York City. I mean, I'm still a fan of the city ones when they were in the city. And like we said at the top, there was Sydney and her daughter Tatum. I liked her journey, actually. I thought her acting was well. I've never heard of her before.
Tatum's character.
Yeah, I never had seen her in anything before, but I really enjoyed her. And, a lot of people have complained that she didn't have it wasn't a lot of character development, but I disagree.
I disagree
wholeheartedly because she had a journey. She went from this scared kid that didn't think she could do anything to actually having to, run for her life and save her life. So I appreciated that journey. The thing that bothered me, and I think it bothered you as well, you're going to say she's so traumatized that she's not going to tell her daughter anything, but her daughter this is where the tension between her mother and daughter, where she's not telling her, I want to know about her past. And why did you name me after somebody who died? And
you're not going to tell me anything about her.
Yeah, you wouldn't tell me anything about her. Tell me anything about your past. Her
daughter was basically having to look up books that had been written or the stab films and just kind of, guess about her mother's life. And it was just she was begging and pleading, I need you to tell me in your own words. And you just, that kind of plagued me the whole film. Is why aren't you just telling her something?
But I get it. Maybe too, it's just because she was traumatized, that kind of thing. So
yeah,
obviously she was.
Obviously. And another thing I liked too was the jump scares. Those definitely, I knew they were coming, but it was just okay, I prepared myself. No, I didn't prepare myself. How many times did I squeeze your hand so hard?
It was a lot. Yeah. I know it's very tropey and cliche to do, jump scares. But I think they were effective. I think they were pretty effective. I felt like the kills were the kills were pretty basic kills, but then they were more aggressive. And
the kills were good.
The action was there in the kills. I didn't feel like I was like, man, when are they going to kill somebody in this movie? Because I was like, they kept that up quite a bit throughout the film, right?
Yeah, I agree. No, I wholeheartedly agree. I think the kills were really good, and there was a couple times I was like, oh, I can't look at this.
Yeah, this goes back to the time frame because I looked at this, I was like, man, it's a 2-hour movie. This is gonna be a long movie, but I always judge it by if I'm looking at my phone or my watch or whatever to be like, how far along are we? And I never looked at the phone one time. So it keep it engaged. I felt like the pacing was off, not off, but kept going. I felt like it kept you going and going and going. I know a lot of people have complained about the pacing too, but
I thought the pacing was fine.
I think the pacing was okay. I think there was some good stuff in this as well. Like they had some really good set pieces with Ghostface, like was chasing, the mother and daughter through the wall. That was like high tension. I really liked that. I did feel like they brought some characters back that just showed up out of the blue. Maybe they were from 5 and 6. We just talked about them, but it was like
it was kind of like the comic relief you needed.
They were the comic relief, but I was like, why are they here?
Yeah.
Where did they drive into the wrong movie? It was kind of weird.
They drive into the wrong movie.
So, but I was like, once they got into it, it kind of
made sense a little bit.
It made sense, but I kind of accepted. I'm like, okay,
this is what it is.
This is what it is, and you're just bringing some people in, maybe just to make you feel better for the people that love 5 and 6, and there's some people from 5 and 6 in this film. Well, I don't know about for you, but for me, it was the 2/3. I'm the 2/3 guy, just like a lot of these people here. Was good. It really kept me going. But then you kind of see, for me, where it kind of we tried to tie up the end of it, and it really just kind of fell flat for me. For one of those things is, and we talked about this, is nostalgia bait.
I like a lot of nostalgia, especially for this movie, because it is very fitting. But there is certain points, especially towards the end, that I was just kind of like, this is cheesy nostalgia. And I didn't see the point. I thought it could have been done without. But for most of it, I enjoyed the nostalgia. It was just those few little pieces that I was like, the movie could have lived without it.
And I think these film or production companies realize this, that they're really going to grab the fans if you throw nostalgia at them. Because we talked to some fans coming out and they were like, yeah, we loved it, and talking about all the, stuff and characters and stuff in it. And it was just like, if you just throw it in gratuitously and it doesn't really fit or work, it's like, because we know Matthew Lillard's back, which I didn't mention that in the beginning. And the whole question is like, is he alive? And I'm like, well, he kind of died in the first one. But
did he?
But they really lean into this AI thing. Ugh. And I'm like, I get it. A lot of AI these days. AI's not
the world talks about.
Right. AI's not going anywhere. But I was like, I told you this. I was like, I missed the movies where they didn't have phones and AI stuff. It just made the movie, I don't know, work better. But when you start adding other stuff in, it just gets weird and wonky.
Yeah.
To me, it does. I mean, maybe some people.
I think the AI thing was shoved too much down your throat for this movie.
Well, it really, because you combined it with the nostalgia. Just at the end, they just threw stuff. It was like throwing stuff at the wall.
And see what stuck.
When you see it, you'll be like, that's what you're talking about. I'm like, literally, these people are on the wall. Because I love nostalgia. Like you said, you did too. And it really gets me. I'll walk out and I'm like, oh man, that was great. And that's my mind of like, just reminiscing about the old.
Yeah. And it also makes me wonder too, is because this particular film for this franchise has had taken such a hard hit. I wonder, because they had to go back to the drawing board and create the film again, was let's put in things if people have never seen a Scream film, but are of the just generation where AI is everything. And let's just give them a whole download of what the entire franchise is in this movie. And let's throw in a bunch of AI and we've got new followers.
And that's when I was, because you're in this film, you're in it. You're like, okay, yeah, there's some issues and why this happened and why that's happening, but it's a Scream film, so I'm in it. But when it hits that, it's just like, it just took me right out of it.
Like just delete the scene, keep it moving.
Yes. But then also reveal of Ghostface or Ghostface.
Multiple Ghostfaces.
That really bothered me again. So yeah, I don't want to do any spoilers on this.
No.
One, but one of the Ghostface reveal it doesn't make any sense. There's no sense. There's no connection to Sydney. The explanation is like, I can write better.
And I think I told you, I think in the film, like halfway through the film, because there's always multiple ghost faces and they are always revealed. For me, I was like, I pegged this character about halfway through the film that the character was going to be one of the ghost faces.
Yeah, it's easy to figure.
Yeah, it was easy to kind of figure
who it is. their explanation, and then their explanation rambled on for probably a good 2, 3, 4 minutes. And I was like, I kind of blanked out, and I was like, I leaned to her and I'm like, what did they say? What was their reason? So I was like, it was just very frustrating.
Yeah.
Is there too much? Can there be too much nostalgia in a film? And are they using it just to get you into the theater? Because that's the other thing too, is like, are you just doing this to get people in when you could just continue to write the Scream story? Or maybe you're just there's not any story to tell anymore. Maybe it's like you can beat it to death a little bit. Like, after a while you can. So I'm just curious out there, write in the comments below, can you have too much nostalgia as well in a film? And to me, this one proves that you can.
You can. Yeah. Agreed.
On the flip side of that, it's not going to bother people because that's what they love and they go for. And they're like, hey, that's what I paid the money for. And that's what I want to see. And I think it does work in a lot of things because it does bring back an emotional connection to the original films. As good as it is emotionally to you, it can manipulate you. It's manipulation, emotional manipulation of it.
Or annoyance.
Yeah, or annoyance. Absolutely.
It was annoying, starting to annoy me.
Yeah, that's right. It relies on past success instead of thinking of new ideas. Just let's throw this stuff in here or this person in here just to try to get something that they couldn't think of anything new or fresh. It can also slow down a story. And that's one big point for me because, like I said, it was running fine 2/3 of the movie. When you hit that point of it, it's slow. It took me right out of it. And you don't want to be taken out of the film. And it kind of slowed it down. All right. So you want to move on to the recommendation?
Yeah, let's do it.
So what would you give it for Screaming Smiles?
Between a 1 through 5, right?
1 through 5 on the Screaming Smiles. Yeah. What do you think?
Man, I kind of lean towards a 4.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Okay.
I guess I really enjoyed the movie. I liked it, even though it had its issues and it had its annoyances. But overall, I thought it was a good film. There wasn't anything where I was like, "Oh, what did you do?" Yeah.
I feel like I'm going to be generous because I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5.
Dang.
3 out of 5. Yeah. I feel like I had some problems. The ending, they didn't land the ending very well.
And I definitely think you should go check it out in theater.
Oh, I was thinking wait till it comes out on streaming.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like the whole theater experience because our theater people were awesome that were with us. They were reacting to the film, laughing, jumping. Okay. So that's why I say go see it in the theater. Don't see it at home.
All right.
Or unless you just like that creepy home horror movie vibe.
Yeah, well, yeah, that too. How about you go to the cheap theater?
Yeah, we support a cheaper theater here.
Go to the cheap town. Support the cheap theater in your town. They are trying to make it work. All right. So if you like this content and this movie review, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe below and comment. Please tell me what your favorite Scream one is, 1 through 7. Which movie is your favorite out of the Scream franchise? And we'll talk about it.
Man, they got a lot of questions to answer.
They do.
You gave them like 3.
Gave them 3, so you got a quiz. So I look forward to listening to your quiz questions in the comments.
We look forward to.
Yes, we do. Yep. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a good night.
Good night.